Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time you are watching this video. Once more, my name is Adamu Bashir from OZ Madugu General Enterprise. And in today's video, I want to take us through our computer based online exam that is attached to our complete school management system. And believe you me, this is one of the beautiful and special computer online based system that combine all the three type of exams that you can think of, talking about the true or false answer, also the options of either A, B, C, or D, and also the fill in the blank. We all have this in our online computer based system. Without wasting much of our time, let's quickly log into our dashboard and actually show you all of this. So, logging in to my dashboard, after clicking on the sign in, it will take me to the page for me to actually validate my account. So I'm going to input my credentials to actually validate my account, because the system is also having a two-factor authentication system. So we are currently in the admin dashboard, and this is where the admin is going to manage all the entire aspect of the school. The software is actually a complete school management system. We also have the one that is just e-result for students to always check their results. I will also have the complete school without the online CBT attached to it. And one special feature about our system is that you also have a general chatting system that is also attached to the system, whereby the admin can chat with the entire teachers, that is in a general group chat. And also the admin can also chat with the student, also a general group chat for the student, a general group chat between the admin and the student, and also a general group chat between the admin and the teachers. So without wasting much of our time, let's quickly go to the online exam page. I'll click on my online exam. After clicking on this online exam, I am now in the online exam page. So before explaining this, let me also sign in as a student. So I'm going to go to the student dashboard, input my credential. The students are not actually using two-factor authentication because they don't actually put more information to the system. What they just required is just a pin for them to actually check their results. So without a pin, it's just like their dashboard is actually useless. And without also they are assigning the exam, it's just like the dashboard is also not used for the student. It's just an empty dashboard, because the only thing they can access in the dashboard is under the academic for them to be able to get the library materials that was actually posted in the school, and also the timetable. So apart from that, the special feature here for the student is for them to be able to check their results and also take their online exam. If you have 300 students in your school, all the 300 students are also going to have their specific dashboard. So I'll quickly click on this online exam under the student page. Now, this is the online exam under the student page, and of which this student has already taken this exam. If I go back to this page under the dashboard, you can see the name of the student is student 1. So on clicking on this, we know that it's student 1 that is actually going to take this online exam. And the beautiful part again of this system is that you can assign bulk exam systems to students in that specific class. The system will not just fetch students that are not in the class. So all students that are attached to the class, you have access to be able to fetch them from the admin dashboard and assign an exam to them. And if a student missed the exam, under this options here, you are going to see absent, that the student have actually missed the exam based on the time that you actually set, because the exam can only be taken by the student based on the start time you actually set for the student and based on the end time. That is the time end for the exam. So the moment the time expired for the exam, the student cannot take the exam. The option that is going to show you here is going to be absent. That is, the student have actually missed to take the exam. So I'm going back to the admin dashboard to actually explain more of the information about this online exam. When creating an online exam, after clicking on this create online exam, you have to create the exam title. You'll be able to fetch the section, the class, And without fetching the class, automatically you will not be able to get the section attached to the class, because you need to fetch the students that are only assigned to that class and the section, based on the subject that the students are actually taking in the class. So on clicking on this class, it will automatically fetch the section that I have, and also automatically fetch the subject that are also assigned to the class. If I decide to click on another class, let's say I decide to click on this BL primary, you can see under BL primary we have no section, but we have one mathematics subject assigned to that. If I decide to select another separate class, let's say test class, under this test class you can see no section and also no subject that is also created under this class. So based on that, you only need to select the subject, the section for that specific class. That's one beautiful aspect of that. And you also set the exam date based on the day you actually want the student to take the exam. If you want the student to take the exam in the school, fine, you can set the exam date when they are going to be in the school. If you also want the student to take the exam at home, you can be able to set this for the student to actually take the exam at home. And you are going to also set the time. So under this time, we have from 12. From this 12, this is actually 12 p.m. in the afternoon. This is 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So from this 12 p.m., it will jump to 13, continuously like that up to 23. And the moment you are in 24, it's automatically 00. And this 24 is telling you that is a.m. So if you are working with 24 a.m., going back after a.m., 24, that's 12 in the night, 12 a.m. It will now be 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 up to 11 a.m. up to 11:55. Immediately after 11:59, it will automatically go to this 12. So from this 12, the next hour it will go to is 13. So the moment you set that, you will now come to the time end. When are you expecting the exam to actually end? You also set it based on the time. You set the minimum percentage you actually want the student to actually score before passing the exam, and you also set some instruction that you actually want the student to read through before actually taking the exam that you are assigning to. So after that, you can also decide to edit an exam. If I click on this, you can see it will fetch this physics exam for me. I will be able to edit the exam. I will also be able to change the time. You change the time end, you change the percentage, and also decide to change the instruction. So under this instruction, anytime you actually want to update, at least you can either update with a dot. You can add a dot, or you can clear one of the dots to actually update. Else, the system will tell you that an online exam has already existed. Let's take an example of this. After refreshing this page, if I decide to click on this, you can see subject already exists. That's a validation to ensure that we don't have the same subject for this class that the student is actually going to take that exam to when the admin is actually assigning this exam, when creating the exam. So based on that, if I actually updated any of this, and if I want this same exam to be updated, is to just add either a dot or to clear any of the dots, because it actually checked the instruction. After that, you can see online exam updated successfully. So the online exam has been updated. And if you also want to add question, you'll be able to create. After clicking on the add question, you can see we have a multiple choice question for you to be able to select from. We have a true or false question for you to add. And we also have a fill in the blank question for you to be able to create for this beautiful online based system, so that the student will be able to have different options to take the exam, not a computer based system whereby the student will only have access to either a true or false option, or a multiple choice question, or a fill in the blank. In this system, we are having all the three types of the computer based system in one computer based online exam, which actually make it beautiful. And anytime the student is actually taking the exam, for each of the question, the answer for that specific question is also going to be identified for the student to know that each question is allotted a specific mark. You can add more of the fill in the blank question by clicking on add more. The moment you finish, you can just click on the submit fill in the blank question, and it will automatically submit for you. Now after that, the next other option again is actually for the edit. The moment you add a question and you also want to edit that question, one also beautiful aspect of this. Out of the entire question that you have, you can see the questions here. It will only select that question based on the type of the exam. You can see this is what editing I love dash dash dash. That is also a fill in the blank. If I click this, it only fetch that question. And if I decide to go back after clicking on the back and I come back to this question and I say, okay, who is dash 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 to dash? This is also a fill in the blank. Let's go to the multiple choice question. If I also click on this edit, you also find out that it's just this option that is for the multiple choice question that is going to come. No any other option for me to be able to edit, which also make the system very, very wonderful. And after inputting all your question and editing all your necessary information, you just click on submit multiple choice question and you have automatically updated the question. So the next one is actually to view the question. You can also decide to view the question by clicking on this view question. So that's what we actually did before. You view the question, you see either you want to edit or delete the question. Either you want to edit, or before deleting, you'll be asked, deleting online exam question. You are about to delete online exam question for maybe I love you dash dash dash. Are you sure? If you click on delete online exam question, it will automatically delete. If it is this question that you actually want to delete, maybe 6 times 2, after clicking on this, you'll be able to see you are about to delete online exam question for 6 times 2. Are you sure? If you say yes, okay, delete online exam question, it will automatically delete. If you say no, it's going to close. Now, the next other options again for we to explain under this online exam is also the assigned exam. But before talking about this assigned exam, we want to talk about the view results. So this view result will only fetch specific exam that is assigned. It will not add with other exams. Because if you check this table here for all these entire exams, we have exams that are for mathematics. We also have exams that are for physics. We also have another one that is for biology. And if I click on this view result, you can see it will only fetch exam that is only for the physics. It's only fetching the exam that is for the physics, right? It's only fetching exam that is for physics. If I go back and I also click for the mathematics exam, it will only fetch exam that is for what? For mathematics alone. It's only fetch exam that is for mathematics. It's not also combining it with the physics. That is also one of the beautiful aspect of this. If you have 50 students that you assign those exams to, you are also going to fetch them all at the same table there. Also, for the biology, if I click on this, you'll find out that no result found for the specified exam because no exam has already been taken for this exam. That's why you are seeing this no result found for this online exam. Now, on assigning, you can select, you can see when assigning, it fetch the exam title, that is the physics exam. It fetch the class specifically, and it also fetch the section for that student. So now let's assume you have exam that you want to assign, and that student class did not actually match with the section. Automatically, the student is not going to be fetched. But for as long as you have the students that are tallying with the class and the section, automatically all those students that are in that class are going to be fetched. And you will be able to assign all of this exam to them at the same time. But when assigning this exam, let's assume you have 50 students you want to assign the exam to. After assigning 50 students exam, and maybe a new student was registered in the school, and that student also need to take this exam. When assigning the student, you don't need to come and select all these other individuals again that you already assigned the exams to. What you just need to do is actually to select the specific individual that you want to assign. The moment you select all of them again, you are going to get this warning, and assign them with those ones that have not taken the exam. You are going to get this warning telling you that the student is already assigned to the online exam. One or more students is already assigned to the exam. You will need to select all the students at a time, or you select students individually. Do not combine assigned students and those that are not assigned to take this exam. You only need the students that are assigned this exam to take this exam. And when you have new students, you just add that student individually after already assigning all other students. So we already have students that we assign this exam to. So I'm going to delete all of them. And when deleting the exam for these students, when deleting them, it automatically go with their result, because if you did not actually delete it with the results of the assigned exam, the student cannot take that exam again. It will be what? It will be showing the student that he has already taken that exam. So that table entirely for the student for that exam will also go. Just assume you have a tenant that actually came to your house to rent, and after renting and the tenant is about to go, and you are not telling that tenant, no, if you are going, no, you only go, you leave this property, you are not taking this with you. And it's the property of the tenant. Like, okay, after taking the exam, it's my own property, it's my result, so I have the right to hold my result. And that's okay, I want to assign another exam for you. So you need to delete all of those information. If the property tenant is going, he will take all his property that he came with, right? So deleting this exam, also deleting the results of what the individual, so that the student cannot take that specific exam again. The student, that's why when deleting online exam for the student one, that's the name of the student, you are about to delete this online exam, and the result for this student one is what are also going to go. Are you sure you want to delete? You said yes, I delete. Now also the same thing, it will bring me to this page. I also want to delete for student 3 for the physics exam. I also want to delete for student 3, and I also want to delete for student 2, so that we should assign all these exams together. We should assign all these exams together. So I want to go back to assigning the exam. So I'll click on the assign exam because I'm working with the physics exam. So before assigning this exam, now if we go back to the student page and we refresh this page, you will find out that the student is having this. You have no assigned exam, right? You have no assigned exam. So now if I assign this exam to the student, let's select all the students. Student 1, student 2, and also student 3. Or let's say I actually want to assign to student 1 and 2 first. After assigning to them, you can see online exam assigned successfully. Now coming back again, I said, okay, we have the third student that you want to assign this exam to. And I decide to select all of them again together with that student. After selecting all of them, I said, okay, I actually needed to add only student 3, but I want to add all of these so that we should see the error again. You can see, this is the error that is going to show you, right? Because you have already added this student 1 and 2. So you can't add student 3 together with them. What you're expected to do is just to assign student 3 alone. Just to assign student 3 alone. So clicking on this assign, you can see online exam assigned successfully. So student 3 exam 2 is also assigned. If we now go to the online exam user, you can see we have 1, 2, and 3 already assigned this exam. So going back to all of exam again, if I click on this, if I go to the student dashboard, please, if I go to the student dashboard and I refresh this page, you can see that student 1 is now going to be having this online exam, right? But the status is what? Is absent because the time set for this exam has already elapsed. And the time currently is 5:39, and this exam is to terminate by 5:30. So you can see the exam has already passed, and the status that is going to show this student is what? Is absent, that the student has not taken the exam and it has passed him. So he's absent, he mixed the exam. So based on that, let's go and change the time for the exam so that this student cannot take this exam. Our current time is 5:39. I want to put 5:40, 5:40, and I said let this exam expire by 5:45. That's 5 minutes, and I'll just clear one of the dots and click on update to actually update the table. So this exam automatically has been assigned to the student, and now if we go to the student dashboard, it will not show us that again. You can see automatically 1 minute has already passed out of the time that we said, because 40 and we will now have 4 minutes 37 seconds. Wow, what beautiful type of exam system. So you can see, so the student will not be able to know what time did he actually need to take this exam, and if this time elapsed, if that student click on this again, he cannot even have access to click on this, because what he's going to see is that he's absent because he actually missed the exam. And the time you can see is what? 5:40 to 5:45, which the duration is automatically 5 minutes. So after clicking on this take online exam, the student will be asked to read the below instruction carefully before taking this exam. After reading all this instruction, if you Want to take the exam now, you are ready to take the exam, you can just click on the start exam, and it will take you to the page to actually start your online exam. So after clicking on this, automatically you can see, before clicking on that, you can see 1 plus 1, it shows us the mark is 3 mark. If I click on load more, it will load the question 2 for me, right? It will load question 2 for me, and question 2 is also having 3 marks, that is 6 times 2. I can continue loading up to the end to see the entire question, which is actually 7 question in this page. Actually 7 question. We totally have 7 question in this page. So we have the 7 question. If I click more again, you can see no more question. If I even decide to click again, you can see no more question. It's still telling me no more question. So you don't need to be clicking on this again. And even if you want to submit this online exam, it will ask you, are you sure you want to submit this online exam? If you click on yes, submit the exam, it will automatically submit, even though you did not answer this question. And if you do not want to submit, you can just click on the go back, or you cancel it, and it will go. And the moment I select any of the answer here, we said, okay, 1 plus 1 is 2. It will automatically select, and you can see the background for this question has already changed. It's now white, telling me that I have selected the answer. If I also come to this question, 6 times 2, is 12. If I go to question 3, I say me is me and you is you. What's the answer? I said it's true, and I select. How about this? She is me and me is she. Maybe I don't know the answer, I can skip it. Now, could this be what? If I decide to select, maybe I know. Could this be love? We're just testing, right? The question is having 2 marks. And also coming to question 6, who is dash dash and dash dash to you? You can decide to put my name. I said Adamu, Bashir. This first dash is actually this, comma, before adding the second answer, because this first answer is for this, and the second answer is also for this. That's the answer you are providing. If you also go to the online exam to that specific question, if I go to the view question, and if we check under the fill in the blank question, if we check under the fill in the blank question, we'll go down and check. Let's go to the other side. You can see here. Let's check here. Let's check. Let's get the question. Let's get the question. Let's get the question. Let's get the question. I think it should be in the previous page. That's page 1. Yes. Let's go up. 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 Now you can see, okay. Sorry, I'm clicking on general mathematics, not physics. That's why we are not actually getting it. So I needed to click on the physics, please. You go to that specific question. I'm working with physics. I'll just click on the view question. So under the view question, you can see this is the question, right? We say who is dash 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 and dash 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 to you, and the correct answer we said is Adamu, Bashir, and the question mark is 3 marks. So coming back to this place, this is the answer I'm going to put, right? I selected Adamu, Bashir, and on this again, okay, I love dash dash dash. What is the answer? Is you. So if I click on this, it will still ask me, do you want to submit this? If I said no, I can go back. And if you actually check this, you can see after scrolling up, I still have 1 question that I have not answered. This is actually to allow you to know the number of the question that you have actually answered, which one you have answered and which one you have not actually answered. So based on that now, I can click on this submit. If I'm okay, I know I have not answered 1 question, I can just click on submit to actually submit the online exam for me. So the moment it submits, I will get this information, and my online exam has automatically submitted successfully. And we actually work with our time. You can see 5:44. Before 1 minute, assuming I did not submit the online exam, the time is automatically going to submit it for me. So if I click on this view results, on checking the results, this is the result page. You'll get your school logo, the online exam result, the photo of the student, and the information of the school, the motto, the address of the school, the phone number, the email address, the student name, the registration number of the student, and the username of the student. What is the exam code, the title of the exam, the class, the section, the subject, the minimum percentage that you actually set for the exam is 50, right? If we go back to the admin page, and if we go to the online exam, if we go back to the online exam again, What's the minimum percentage? If I click on this, you can see minimum percentage is actually 50%. So on the student page, you can see minimum percentage is what? 50. Exam year 2024, total mark required for the student is needed to get, that is after summing the entire mark for each of the question, is 19. And total answer question, you can see the student answer 6 and we have one that is unanswered. The student obtainable mark is 16 out of 19. What is the percentage? We have 84.21. To get this percentage is to divide the total required mark by this. That is 16 divided by 19 multiplied by 100. You are going to get this percentage. And the status automatically is going to give you pass, because based on the minimum percentage you set, the student has already passed the minimum percentage and automatically the status is going to be passed. That is the result page for the student. And going back to the admin page, if I refresh the page and I decide to click on the view result for that specific exam, after clicking on the view result, you can see I'm now getting the students that actually submitted this exam. Student 1, this is the title. The subject minimum percentage is 50. What's the percentage score for the student? 84.21. Beautiful. From the student page, you can see 84.21. The student obtainable mark is 16. Going back to the admin page, if I click on this, the obtainable mark is also 16. Total required mark, and the status is complete. What is the result status? Is pass. Beautiful. Wow, what a beautiful online exam system. And if you have entire students, let's assume you have all the 3 students that actually took the exam, all those students are going to be fetched in this table specifically for that exam, and you'll be able to get their score and actually record. So that is all the explanation about, or let me just say the brief explanation about our online computer-based system that is attached to our complete school management system. This is one of the beautiful computer online-based system you can actually get out there. So if you actually want to enroll your school in our complete school management system, you can actually reach out to us. Before I forget, I told you we also have a chatting system that you can also chat. So let's quickly test a chatting system. If I click on the chat app, just click on chat app. The link will also be provided. You can see the moment I click on chat app, we have a chatting between the teachers and also the student. So for the student is chat app student. Don't worry, you are going to be provided the link from your own school. The moment I click on chat app student, you can see we are now in the group chat with student. And also from the student page, if I decide to go to the chat app, I'll just type on the chat app, and the moment I click on this, it will take me into the chat app. So normally, after a while, the previous chatting that was done will automatically be deleted from the system. That is how it's been set. So the maximum time we can set for your school is what? Is 5 days. Is 5 days, so that you will not have a lot of messages there and people will not be having challenges in trying to read one or more of the messages. And if you also want to reach out to your school by passing information to them, you will be able to use this from the admin dashboard to actually send the message, and every student that actually enter the page will now get the message. So let's test with this. Let's start the admin. This is student 1 chat, and I click on submit. It will delete the previous one because it has already stayed more than the time it's already set. So if I now go back to the admin page, you can see this is the message right? You can see this is student 1 chat that was just sent now. So admin can now set okay. I can just put okay received. Just type received. Okay, received. After received ed, then I can just click on submit, and automatically it has submitted. If we now go to the student dashboard, you can see the student also received this. Okay, received. This is the other advantage again that we also add to our system. So please don't waste time trying to look at what type of the system you actually want to go to in enrolling your school. Our system is actually there for you. To reach out to us, you can call us on 080 64 32 81 68, or you can send us a WhatsApp message. Thank you and stay blessed. We hope to hear from you.